Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone that is watching right now. My name is ISMY ZULAIKHA FITRI BINTI YUSZAIRI and I'm from AP241A. For today, I would like to talk and expound to you guys about my topic on essence of sunscreen. So, as we all already know, sunscreen mainly been used by females around the world and hardly seen worn by men. Little that they know, sunscreen actually have many benefits that they can extract just from wearing it daily. Fun fact about sunscreen, actor Hugh Jackman, better known as Wolverine in the X-Men film series, actually has been diagnosed with skin cancer 6 times. And with his own experience, he urged people and his fans by spreading awareness to wear sunscreen because it can actually save your life from developing skin cancer. Here, I have done some research regarding to the topic, and for today, I would like to show to all of you about the essence of wearing sunscreen as a way to approach people on their view about sunscreen. Before we start, looking at the graph here, according to the Skin Cancer Institute 2019, this graph represents the total of people died due to melanoma. So you guys might be wondering, what is melanoma? Here, I will show to you guys the picture that shows what the condition of melanoma is. It is actually one of the most dangerous type of skin cancer in the world. And from the pictures shown here, we can see that it shows like it kind of we can see like normal moles that people have, but it can develop from 4 stages. First one, we can see like a normal mole that on skin surface, but at stage 4, this cancer cell will eat you from inside. So we commonly see this type of skin cancer on elderly people, but the younger generations can also develop this skin cancer. Okay, so now, as you can see, in 2017, there are a total of 1,377 people that died due to melanoma. And here we can see at the chart, male dominated it more by having the total of 876 people that died compared to female. This is because men are thought to be more exposed to the sun compared to women, and by the age of 50, men are more likely to develop skin cancer, right? My point here is, by wearing sunscreen, regardless of female or male, we will have more protection, and it actually has been found to be a safe and effective way of protecting skin from UV radiation. It was also originally developed to prevent sunburn from excessive exposure to sunlight. It also was designed to block the ultraviolet B, or we known as UVB rays, that cause sunburn. With the help of sunscreen, we can move freely under the sun without worrying about the UV rays touching our bare skin. Okay, next slide. If you look at the chart here, there are various circumstances of people wearing sunscreen on their daily life, either at the beach, in the mountains, spending days outdoors, or even on a normal day. But I want to emphasize the chart on the normal day, which if you can see at the second bar that I shows the cursor here, the blue cursor, it shows the highest percentage of 36% of people are not wearing sunscreen on a normal day. This is because if we think on the common sense, we don't usually do activities like hiking or go to the beach every day. We either stay at home, go to the work, classes, or etc. But mostly spending time outside in the sun without doing heavy activities that requires lots of energy, and we will still have contact with UV rays. To boot here, okay, sunscreen also helps us to induce skin damage and also helps increasing the tolerance of the skin towards UV exposure. Here, I will show you that topical sunscreen have can be divided into 2 classes, which are organic and inorganic substances, or we call it as sunblock. What do they do? How do they work? Organic sunscreen works by changes the UV absorption to heat energy that helps to reduce its harmful effects and death through which can penetrate the skin. While inorganic sunscreen works by providing a safety coating that blocks the UV rays from goes through the skin. The particle inside of the inorganic substances will works by scattering and reflecting the sun rays back to the environment. To sum all of this up, in order to approach people around the world on their view about the essence of sunscreen, we, as ourselves, need to take further action by start to normalize wearing sunscreen in our daily life. This can be done from early stages of health education by parents and school to educate younger generations about it. That is all from me on my topic of essence of sunscreen. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is MEGAT NABIL by MEGAT NAWAWI, and today I'm going to talk about be a leader, not a boss. But before we go deep further into this topic, let's understand the meaning of the word leader and the word boss, and what are the difference between both of them. So, what is a leader? A leader is the person who leads or command a group, organization, or country, while a boss is the person who is in charge of a worker group or organization. Both of the definitions are from Oxford. So, based on Oxford, a leader is the person who leads a group. So, for example, we are doing a groups project. A leader is the one who leads the groups. That is a leader. While a boss is the person who is in charge of the groups. But is a leader is it just by leading a groups you are a leader, or there are something else to show that you are a leader? So let's hear from what does let's ask from someone else. So this is John C. Maxwell. He is American author, but not an ordinary author. He is number one New York Times bestselling author, coach, and speakers who has sold more than 24 million books in 50 different languages. And he's also known as American number one leadership author because he has made a lot of he, because all of his books are focused to leaderships. And what does he say? He say a leader is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Which means a leader. Number first is you need to as he said that number one is knows the way, which means a leader should knows what he's doing, and he need to understand what he's doing. So a leader, he need to study it first. Let's say you are given a task. A leader should understand what is the task and should study about the task itself. Then after he studied about the task, after he fully understand about it, then he will start to come up with a solution or a new idea based on the task given. So after he have come up with a new idea, he is the one that going to go with the idea. He is the one that going to do the idea. Then if the idea success, he's going to show it to others and bring others with him to go to success as a team. And he will make sure all of his teammates understands with what they are doing. So that's why a leader should knows the way, understand what he's doing, goes the way. He is the one that tried the solution and shows the way. Show it to the teammates to make sure no one is left behind, and every single one of the teams know what they are doing. So what is the importance of a leader? This is what Bill Gates said. And he said, as we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others, which means in the future, leaders are the ones that are going to control the world, because they are the one that have powers. They are the one that have the influence to control others. So if we don't have a great leader, if we don't have a leader in the future, then we are facing a big problem, because it is going to affect our life. It's going to affect our daily life. So if we don't have a great leader right now, it is the time for us to wake up and be the leader, because everyone is born to be a leader. So based on my survey, this is uh, based on World Management Survey 2017. This shows that there are significant room for improvement among Malaysian firms in terms of management. Why? Because Malaysia has scored 2.84, which means that has put Malaysia ahead from India, Vietnam, and even Spain, a well-known country, a highly income country. We have a better management than them, but we are slightly behind from Singapore, Japan, and the United States of America. And this shows that Malaysia managements are not the worst, and but we are also not the best. But this shows that Malaysia still have a chance to improve our managements, and in hopes that one day we can be one of the best among other countries. So a quick fact: 1 point in this World Management Surveys, one point increase in this management surveys can lead to 26% increase in labor productivity, 2% increase in profitability, 7% increase in sales, and 1% reductions in bankruptcies. This shows that how big that 1 point are. And for Malaysia, for us, how can we improve our management? So one of the way to improve our management is we need to have a great leader. We need to have a good leader. But since we are talking about leaders, how do we know that we are a good leader? What are the criteria to be a good leader? So as a great leader, we should have three criteria. The first one is insight. Second one is integrity, and the third one is inclusiveness. So what is insight? Insight is the capacity to gain an accurate or deep understanding of someone or something. So as a leader, the first thing you need to know is you need to understand. You need to understand what you are doing, and you need to understand your teammates. Because the first thing is, once you have given the task, as I said just now, you need to study. You need to study the task so that you understand what you are doing. You have made a clear path for you. Then you need to understand your teammates, because we are working as a team. So of course you need to understand your teammates. You can't work with someone that you don't know. Then the second one is integrity. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having a strong moral principles. So let's say for our leaders, sometimes for us to get to know our teammates, we need to really understand them. Sometimes we need to have a deep talk with them. We need to know what their problems so that we can help them. But once we already have their problems, that doesn't mean that we can simply share it with others, because it is going to make them down, because we are keep talking about their because we will keep because others will keep talking about their problems. So as a leader, we should understand it and save it for us. We need to save it. We can't just simply leak it to others, because we need to take a good care of them. And the third one is inclusiveness. Inclusiveness is the quality of covering or dealing with range of subjects or areas. So as a leaders, you need to know how to deal with things. You need to know how to deal with problems. You need to know how to deal with times, and you need to know how to deal with human. Because dealing is with machines are way better, way easier to compare with humans. Because machines, you can just simply you can just simply you can just simply giving orders like you how you how you code. You are the one that coding the machines. You are the one that giving orders to the machines, and the machine will do exactly on how you set it. While humans, we are dealing with emotions, and emotions are the most crucial parts to deal, because we can't we can't predict it. It can change with just a blink of an eye. So all of these aspects are not from me, but these aspects are from Sadhguru. He is a role model. I can say he is a role model in India based on what he had done to India. So we have come up to the end of my presentation. So before I end this presentation, there are one quotes that I want to share with you, which is the quotes that I've been holding to since I can say since when I am in primary school. And that quotes has been given to me from my dad. And the quotes is, I might not be the best, but I will do my best. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi to my fellow friends and Madam Shairahana, our English teacher. My name is MAISARAH binti AZIZI And my student ID is 2022464226, and I will be presented about the importance of kindness towards animals. As humans wants to be treated right, this animal need to be treated right because they can talk, but they do have feelings. And we should be the voice for them as they have the same right to receive warmth and care. Because animals are just as important as we are. There, there are so many misacts on animal that left the way it is. The way so many of us just act like in nothing, just heartbreaking, okay? And totally out of term of humanity, human inhumanity itself. So how we even call ourselves someone with humanity when we are neglecting other creatures' sensitivity? Because does it only applies to human? Because across the world, it can be seen so many animals suffer from human acts, directly and indirectly. From the illegal black market trade, exotic meal, to the climate changes that resulted to polar bears who melt. And the chains, all of the chains is on us. And if you look at the chart, animal cruelty in Malaysia, in 2018 recorded the rise of reported animal abuse with 662 cases. And the victims are in 90% involving cats and dogs. And throughout the year, the cases of misact on animals are very concerning, and they are only on the iceberg, as many as cases go unreported and undetected. According to Malaysia Veterinary Services Department, there has been 30% rises on reported animal abuse from 2017 and 2018. As nowadays rural activities are just on fingertips, we can literally see and witness so many misacts and cruelty towards animals. And this happens in so many ways. And it's so upsetting that we are lack of animal welfare laws, including in Malaysia, as many as people also take this lightly, and this totally need a change. So, Miss on animal also in illegal black market trade, which is being a big business today, which is very disturbing. Because it does not end there, because it receives high demands with high profits, and due to this, many have blindly trading these innocent animals. Because there are various kind of illegal animal trades such as poaching, which is illegal hunting, having unlicensed exotic animals, and so on that are exploited these voiceless creatures. And these activities can be happen either on domestic animal or wildlife, where give massive impacts on extinction and endangered species. All this will lead to dysfunction of our ecosystem as well as the biodiversity loss. So MSI on animals, also animal testing, which is testing on animal casually, usually consists of an experiment where an animal undergoes injections, force feeding, inhalation, or consumption of toxic chemicals, which is very dangerous for them and harmful and maybe causing them to death. And many other procedures are likely to cause them distress, pain, suffering, long-lasting harm, and ultimately death. Because each year, about 1.8 million experiments in UK use animals, and animal experiments facts show that approximately 1 million are for basic research. University researchers and the accuracy drive the majority of this. And as more than 50% of all the tests are done in university, and most of the funding come from taxpayer. And the taxpayer basically is the citizens. And as per this statistic, only 13% of the experiments done on animals are actually required by regulators. And 75,000 animals are killed yearly by just one testing animal company. And about animal testing, the leading animal testing company, Huntingdon Life Sciences, kill the most animals annually. And statistics for animal testing show that the animal killed approximately 87 rodents, which is mice, and sometimes they use rabbits' hair. Okay, Top 10 most important animal testing statistic you must know. 90% of new drugs don't even make it to patients, which is not so useful, and 560,000 experiments have involved moderate to severe suffering in animals. It takes nearly a decade to undergo all the tests to register a single pesticide, and 47% of people accept animals in research for medical purposes. And the Animal Welfare Act doesn't protect 95% of the animal being tested on. And the cost of registering of one pesticide is $3 million, and yearly over $12 billion in taxpayer money is wasted on research on animals. And by 2025, there will be a 30% reduction in studies using animal testing, and 56% of animal experimentation is for basic research. And yes, 75,000 animals are killed by just one animal testing company. So always go for cruelty-free animal testing products, including your skincare and so on. Okay, and we should be kind to animals so they have a better life. Like generally, the population of stray animals in Malaysia basically are numerous. Without the proper care, it potentially lead to overpopulation and might as well causing health problem, like maybe from untreated sick dog like rabies. And any little step that we intentionally given to help these animals will definitely make their life better, such as maybe just providing food or small shelter to keep them warm and stay temporarily, because some animals are taking some time to be tamed because they are wild and not used to live around human. But
Yeah.
still, we can help them to make them survive. And most of the times, stray animals are not actually stray. They probably abandoned, give up by previous owner, dumped and lost. This is heart wrenching just to hear this, because how are these people have done that? Because many domestic animals are not used to outside world, and trying to find something to eat are really tough for them, and them to survive really tough. They're also prone to be injured, severe sickness, caught with diseases and hunger, and many more that potentially come from their surrounding, as and they also come from mishaps from human and other animal streets. And as well as many animal shelters have been established to rescue strays and provide shelter. Some animal welfare related organization under coast nurturing program. We cannot fully rely on this, because as community we also need to take the consciousness or awareness to rescue the unwell treated animals, such as doing an adoption to take a good care of them. So I think the conclusion, to instill the feel of sensitivity towards animals, we need to keep spread awareness in any way, in any initiative we could, even every little thing of how animals are important and have rights as we are. Initially, it can be began with donating to animal welfare, basically online, or maybe we can go to the shelter, help and feeding the strays, or helping an injured, and even volunteering in animal shelter. Okay, okay. Helping animal lose you nothing, so act now and be the voice they needed and be the human they trusted. Thank you. That's all from me.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi, Assalamualaikum, and a very good morning to all my fellows and beautiful lecturers, Shaira Hana. So, my name is Lina MAZARINA bin ZAHURI. Thank you so much, you guys, for the interesting topic. So, it's my turn to present my speech, my topic, which is the benefit of recycling waste. So, why is recycling is important, and how can its benefit to environment. So there are many reasons why recycling is essential, because not only can help to reduce your carbon footprint, but it also can help to reduce the need for harvesting the raw materials, save the energies, to reduce the greenhouse gases, and prevent the population and more. So by improving our recycling habits, we can help to keep the environment clean and preserve our natural resources. So move to the next slide. Did you know that the world have a massive 2.12 billion tons of waste every year? According to the world counts, so up to 16% of the rubbish that end up in the dustbin almost every day. So also the amount of plastic waste have been created from the static 2018 to 2020. So some of the plastic can be can take 5,000 years to decompose. So recycling symbol, as you can see, um, the arrows stand for three words, which is three R's: uh, reduce, reuse, and recycle. For the reduce, we can purchase the repairable item over disposable ones. Also, try to avoid the unnecessary purchase. Decrease the exposure to tempting the advertising message. For the reuse, we can practice the borrowing and sharing items, repair the instead of replacing, and retain the item we already have. For example, we can do the DIY. So for recycling, there are some of the materials, raw materials, for example, like plastic, paper, aluminum, tin, and newspaper, some kind of that. So what we can do is to separate the trash according to the kind of raw material, because there are various materials that are difficult to decompose into those that are easy to decompose. So the purpose of sorting waste is to make it easy to recycle, so easy people to know that. So why is recycling is important? Because so as you can see, here are the benefit of recycling and how it can help to help the environment. So one of them is protect the ecosystem and wildlife. Because when we recycle, we can listen the description to the natural world when we cut down the various trees and forests. So we can preventing the harm to animals and the damage to the natural world. So the next one is to conserve our natural resources, because some of the world natural resources are in short supply. So when we recycle, we can help to conserve these natural resources. For example, when we recycle the paper, we can save the forests and trees. When we recycle the plastic, it can take up a lot of solid waste and can take century to break down. So most of the so it can help to when we can help to most plastic come from fossil fuel. So the next one is to save the energy by making product from recycling material requires the less energy than making them from new raw materials, because it takes much less energy to make product out of recycling materials than from raw materials. For example, recycling one glass bottle save enough power to light 100-watt light bulb for 4 hours. The next one is to reduce the need to harvest a new material when recycled. It reduces our need to harvest raw materials. Our increase the demand. For these raw materials also depends people who live near forests or around river system. And last but not least is to reduce the carbon emissions. Because recycling takes up less energy, which reduce our carbon footprint and emission. So reducing our carbon footprint helps to minimize the maintenance release waste from landfill site, which contribute to climate change. So the conclusion that I can make for this is recycling is critical to ensure the health of our planet. So when you organize the recycle, you are helping to reduce the amount of waste produced every day. So it can reduce the impact that we have on the Mother Earth and save the Earth by help to conserve the important raw materials and protect the natural habit for the future. So that's all for me. Thank you so much, you guys, for your attention and help.
I think this is the end, or this is a wrap for our presentation, which is informative speech. So thank you very much, and hopefully we will get a great marks. Thank you, madam.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Assalamualaikum guys.